Right, ladies and gentlemen, I have had one or two people say to me, why do you take so much gear? I'm now going to show you why. Right, here I'm in my tackle shed, as you can see. I've got my pole bag, which all the pole kits are in there. I've got that hold all, which is the hard case hold all. I'll show you for why now, because I've got two rod hold alls there, as you can see. I'll show you for why. Here we are. Here's number one. Like my workmate in my store, where I tie all the hook lengths up in here. Right, what I've got in this rod hold all is my 12-foot XC class rod here with a 4000 reel on it. And I've got my pro distance rod in here as well with the 4000 reel on it as well, as you can see. And both rods, well, all the rods have got the protector tops and bottoms on them, so that protect the gear. I mean, you spend a lot of money on your fishing gear, you've got to look after them, you know. They've all got these Velcro straps to hold your rods. And then in this side, got a 12-foot pellet waggler rod set up with a different make of reel, because I need another 4000 matrix on there. And in this one, there is the 12-foot heavy duty feeder rod, which will cast 120 grams with a 5000 reel on that one, as you can see. And here we are with that rod hold all. Then I'll show you why I carry a second one. I'll just zip those back up. And that's actually what I use as a workmate. I usually have my fishing box on here so I can get to bits and bobs. I've got my trolley set up here, and I put the pole across it so it supports the bag when I'm showing you what I'm doing. Right, if I put this one back down here, and this is why I've got a second rod hold all. Tighten this here because I've got it all in the doorway. This is a bit heavier. Now in this one, I'll unzip them both first. And as you can see, they're both the hard case, so protect all your hard-earned and gear you put in there. Now in this side, bank sticks for my distance sticks, the big space brolly, and this side I've got the bait brolly. And in this one in the centre, I've got the lander net pole in a tube to look after that as well. And in this one I've got the feeder rest, which is a extendable one, and then the shorter solid one, or the stiff one if you like. And then in the far end I've got a big carp rod, a 2.5 pound test curve carp rod, which I use for either pike fishing. I have done a bit of pike fishing, and I also use that with a big bait up feeder cage for feeding the swims in the summertime in the better weather for bream. So I put plenty of ground bait out in 2 or 3 casts instead of a dozen casts with a normal feeder. So that's why I carry 2 hard case rod holders, and then that's all nice and neatly contained. Stick them all on the big trolley, the 4-wheel trolley. And that's some of my gear. And then if I just turn the camera a bit, you can see I've got the case with all my baits in, which I can show you as well if you wish. I'll just stick this down over here, squeeze it through here and put it in there. So what I have in this one, set that up, I'll show you what I've got in there. So what I have in here is my hook box. It's got all my hooks in, as you can see. Plenty of hooks, you can't have too many hooks. cases with all my gear, and I got spoms, the big feed up cages, and the deep water feeder, and obviously your moulds for your feeders and stuff in that one. Got all bits and bobs in that one. I've got swivels and everything, and hooks and pole caps in, tops in there. I've got my pole cups in there and some other bits and bobs you need. And then, as you can see in there, I've got 4 bait boxes all full of pellets, all different sizes. So you've got 6mm, 2mm, 4mm and 8mm. So I'll put them all back right quick. They all go in the right sequences, so I know where everything is, so I can go straight to it. Because when you put it back in the right places, you can find stuff so easily rather than hunting around. I won't zip that up for now because, like I said, there's some damp in there from last time I had to pour down the rain. And then in this one, just a little bit of zoom on there. And this one has got my pole rests, my camera pole, I sit the camera on, pole sock. I can actually leave that out because that's wet, because like I said, I poured down around the last time I went out. Got my rests, my rod roost when I'm feeder fishing, and I use a single one down on my right hand side, so when I catch a fish, stick it in there instead of laying it on the rest and you've got your landing net in the way. So I stick it over there, and that's, once I've unhooked the fish, that's over there. I've actually got a whole load of floats. I don't do right a lot of float fishing, but they're there in case I do need them. Got the feeder rest, catapults in here, different fittings, rod rests, poles to hold the brolly down in the main bits. So put that back in there. I'll go in there for now, but I'll leave that open and let some air to it and dry out. But this other compartment, I've got my camera holder, the selfie stick which is sitting on the camera, sitting on now. I've got the spare spools for my reels in there, 1, 2, 3 spare spools in there, and of course my Matrix Polaroid sunglasses. Sometimes even in the winter, if you're fishing in a certain place and the sun does pop out and it's right in the water, you still need them now and again in the winter time. Right, so I'll leave that there because that's still a bit damp. And then down here by the box, I've got my net bags with all my keep net and lander nets in it, and my big side tray. And in here I've got, I always take this with me as well because everything's out of the way. It's a hard case. As you can see, it's got my bait tray in it, and it's got my feeder box, double-sided feeder box. So a lot of people say you take so much gear, but that's fishermen, pardon me, excuse me, if you haven't got it, you can't use it. So the best way to do it is take it all. That might be a bit fiddly sometimes, but you take it all, at least you've got it with you if you need it. Sometimes you don't need it, but that's there if you do. So sometimes, you know, you take it all and done with it. Simple as that. Still, this is a short little bit of film for you to see what I take when I go fishing. Basically, I think I take the whole lot, so then I've got it all. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe in this little corner here, just there. And thank you very much for watching. Cheers, thank you.